everyone, it's KaTy coming to you with a Gypsy video. I'm going to be using the Gypsy font and to make a Valentine's Day card. And I'm going to start with using a 12 by 12 mat, and then we're going to go to our Gypsy font here, and we're going to click on the monogram shadow, and then also shift, and we will get the basically the blackout of this square. We want 2 of those, and then go back to our mat, and I'm going to size those at 8.5 by 5.5. So let me push 5.5. Okay, and then there's that's going to be my card base. And I'll show you how to do this here. Now, with both of these highlighted, we want to, and how I got those, I unlinked them, unlinked the width and the height, so then I was able to size these independently of each other. If you have this button turned on like that, then once you size the width, the height sizes accordingly so that the image is not distorted. I want to go to my advanced features and click on my weld, and that's going to weld the 2 images. And I do that, so I click on that, and then I double click on one of the boxes over one of my rectangles, and then I just move it over until they're overlapping, and then you can hit the view, and whatever is cut, it's probably hard to see on the camera, but this middle line here is cut in gray, so that means, or shown in gray, so that means my Cricut will not cut it, and whatever is cut in red is what the Cricut will cut. So then we just click off of our preview, and next I'm going to go back to, and if you notice up here, I forgot to click off of my boxes, so they're shown up here, and I don't want those. So what I'm going to do is just click over here off that image and then go back, and now they're gone. So now I can put another image on my mat. So I click on the heart and go back to my mat, and then move this just over here into the corner, and I would like to make it just a little bit bigger. So I click on the little bubble, and this is how you can just kind of eyeball the space or the size instead of clicking on the height and width. You can just eyeball, and that looks about good. So I didn't weld, obviously, this image, so what this is going to do, my Cricut is going to cut out here, and then it's going to cut a heart opening. So then I will have an opening in the front of my card. The next thing I would like to do is click back over to my font, and I'm going to click off this one and click off my shift also, and get this fun, funky scroll heart. And I want to do 2 of those. So now I go back to my mat, and let's see, I'm going to make these a little bit bigger. Till I'm estimating they're about the right size. Now I'm going to zoom in, which you push on this top button and zoom in where you want. You just point on your mat where you want your to zoom in at. Double click on this image, and I'm going to move it up here because I'm going to layer this little guy, and he's a little bit too big, so I'm going to downsize him 1. Let's see if that will work, and I think I have to go another 1 down. So let's see, just make sure all of that. Okay, so I move him back this way, go to this one, and I downsize him 1, 2. Let's just be sure, because I'm not quite sure if that's Okay. And just as long as this black line on the inside, here, let me zoom in a little bit more and see if that helps. If you can see it. And as long as this black line is on the inside of my purple, then I'm good. Okay, so let's zoom out, which you just push this button again. And I'm going to move this one off of that heart. And I want this one to be on the inside. So, and I want a mirror image of it. So I'm going to go over here, and these are my flip buttons. This flips top to bottom, this flips side to side. So I want to do that one, and my image is flipped. I'm going to click on the two hearts together and just move them down here, because I'm going to cut those on a different piece of paper. What I'm going to do next is click off of that image and go back over here, and we have these neat scroll patterns. Okay, I'm going to click this one and this one, and then go back to my mat. Going to weld these together. So let's click, and there we can see it a little bit closer. So again, with both my images highlighted, I click on the weld button and then double click on just one and scoot it over so that it's overlapping like that. Click on a new space, and now I'm just going to go with my traditional font, and on my Valentine's Day card I'm going to say Be Mine. So I'm going to type a B and then a lowercase e and then uppercase M I-N-E. Okay, let's go to our mat. Now this is all grouped together, and if you notice, if your image goes off your mat, it just shows up in a block. You can just move it over, and then once everything's on your mat, your virtual mat, then it'll show up on there. I'm going to weld this image together also, and a lot of times for welding it's good if you zoom in because it's a little bit easier, and you can mess with the kerning just like on the design studio. So you can click on your kerning, and then that's farther apart. That would be closer together. So if you wanted an easy way to weld, you could just do that. But as you see, it kind of squishes everything else together. And then you could hit weld and then preview. Let's see what it looks like. And there you can see where each. Now if you want to tweak some of this, what you can do is we'll click off of our preview, and I want to move this one. See, and then you can move each individual one. Okay, one other feature I'd like to show you is the group and ungroup button. When I typed all this in, it automatically groups it together. If you'd like it ungrouped, say I wanted to move this over, just double click on that until the B is purple. Then you click ungroup, and that ungrouped everything. See, and they'll all show up separately. So when I want to group the B and the E together, because I welded them and I don't want to mess with my welding, then you hit group and then you click on the B and then click off, and then now this will be grouped together. I moved my Be Mine down here because I want it cut out of the same paper that this is cut out of. Let's just click preview. And the more intricate your cuts, the longer that this will take to show you what exactly is going to be cut. And I'm going to zoom in and just make sure everything is good. Just touch this button, and then you can hold the button down, and then you can move around in your image and see how this is the mirror image of that. Butterfly.